Todd, it was a tight game, it was a physical game, and one of those games that was always seemed like it was going to go down to the wire, but you just couldn't get enough goals in the second half for some reason.
Oh, I thought first half was really good. I thought after half time, I thought they certainly worked harder than us, ran better than us, I think. And look, we just couldn't get anything going forward. We sort of didn't get any connection going at all. So we've got some work to do there.
Were you pretty happy at half time? You'd gone into half time with plenty of momentum. It seemed like you'd taken their best shots physically. They seemed to try to come at you physically, and you withstood that pretty well. Were you pretty happy with where you sat at half time?
Well, look, I thought our first half was okay. Probably the best footy we've played probably for a month. Used the ball well. Probably missed a couple of chances. They probably did as well. So look, I thought at half time we were sort of happy with the way we were playing. And then after half time, we started pretty well, had a couple of shots, and then fell away badly. So our stuff ahead of the ball really let us down, I think. And to their credit, they took their chances.
You obviously didn't kick many goals. You only kicked 2 goals after half time. But do you put that down to the forwards not either being in the right spots or taking the chances, or the delivery to them wasn't probably great after half time either?
Well, the delivery to them wasn't great because they didn't move. So, if you stand still, you're a pretty easy target to defend.
Is that something you work with now during the week? Because if you look at Mason and Zach, they're usually pretty good movers ahead of the footy, and they usually create good targets for you. But you had different guys up forward as well. Was that just trying to get something to happen when you threw, guys like McIntosh forward, just to try to get something different to happen?
Oh, look, to be honest, Main got a big knock early, so he was a bit sore. And we're pretty sure McIntosh broke his hand in the first quarter, so we didn't have much choice really. And after the game, you look at it, McIntosh was probably our best leading forward. We just refused to come at the ball, which made it pretty hard for the guys up the ground. So look, we've been working on it for a couple of weeks. It's an area that's been letting us down, so we'll continue to work on that.
Just on McIntosh, he's probably the best team man at the club, probably the most popular man at the club. He works so hard and he's so dedicated to the footy club, but he just seems to cop these unlucky injuries seemingly time after time at the moment.
Yeah, he's pretty resilient. He's had some big injuries the last few years. It'd be nice for him to get a good run. So, it looks like he'll miss some more time, but he'll do what he can to get back.
Some of your hard body midfielders seem to do pretty well for 4 quarters. Steve Berry was probably one, and Schleith as well. Did they just need more help, or could have they done a little bit better as well? How did you sort of see their games?
I thought they were pretty good. Stevie's first half was really good. I thought he was a pretty good player. Was sort of slightly restricted with what we could do through there with personnel, but to be honest, the second half our mids probably didn't get enough uncontested ball, and it was hard going forward. So look, we didn't play great footy, certainly in the last quarter and a half.
Touching on Steve, he's getting close to his 100th game now. I think he plays it next week. This has probably been his most consistent season, so he's playing some really good footy at the moment. Yeah. Are you happy that he's now got a good run at it and his body's allowing him to show what he's capable of?
Yeah, well, he was top 3 in our best and fairest probably 2, maybe 3 years ago, and then since then he's had some pretty significant injuries, so he hasn't had much luck. It's good to have him back, and as you say, the more you play, you get a bit of continuity. So yeah, it's good for him. But he's one of that midfield that we need to be better.
It was a pretty tough physical game. Some of your young guys I thought stepped up. Maybe Seaton Thompson and Zach Miguel was probably maybe their best games that they've played for you.
Well, look, all our young guys have been good, to be honest. We've lost a few blokes, certainly the last 6 weeks. We sort of have lost, and mostly it's the experienced ones that they've gone out. So we've been really experienced ahead of the ball. We sort of tried to fix that a bit today, but obviously, a few things changed it, and we ended up with some guys ahead of the ball that are different. But that's the challenge. So, but yeah, look, I thought Seeds was okay. Desan Miguel as well. Haven't played much footy, so we probably needed a bit more from our leaders. I probably think in the second half.
You lost three games in a row now, but they've been against good teams, and you probably feel like you haven't played great footy. But do you feel like it's not as bad as it perhaps looks when you look at 3 games in a row? Do you feel like you're perhaps still playing better footy than that suggests?
No, not really. I don't think we're playing great footy. Probably hasn't been for 6 weeks, really. I mean, since we beat Subi, I think we probably haven't played great, but managed to get out of jail against sort of East Perth and Peel. East Fremantle was probably our best performance, you know, but lost a lot of guys that day. But yeah, look, we've had some challenges with personnel, but everyone does this, you know, this time of year. So, I think one thing I've learnt from being footy for a long time is you're never going as well as you think you are, and you're never going as bad as you think you are. So we'll hang in there and stick together and work, and as a group, you know, try and get better.
Big game next week now, obviously Perth. You want to make sure you at least stay in third position and don't sort of close that gap again to fourth spot. It's a big game for them too. They obviously beat you early in the season. What are your thoughts on them?
Haven't really looked at them, to be honest. Haven't looked at them, so we'll look at them during the week. In terms of being a big game, they're all big games. We're not worried about positions on the ladder at the moment. We're just worried about getting back to playing good footy. And you know, if we play well, the position on the ladder will take care of itself.
Does anything change for a night game? Do you have to do anything differently, or a game like this where it's wet and it's been wet for a couple of weeks? Is that pretty similar to what night footy is usually like anyway?
Other than turning the lights on, that's probably the biggest difference. But look, it's good experience for the players. So you start a bit later, you know, when you eat and all that sort of stuff. But you know, most of them have played enough footy now. I think they'll be looking forward to playing under lights. It'd be nice to play a dry one, but it's, you know, it's footy. It's a winter sport. So middle of July, we'll take what we get.
Thank you.
All good.
Thanks, mate.
All right. Good job. All
Thanks.
good. Ciao.
Cool.